Hello, this video will be teaching you different techniques in shading for drawing. Now we have a sheet here where we've got 4 different styles, and we're going to start with cross-hatching. Now as you'll see here that the cross-hatching starts with lines in one direction, parallel lines so they go in the same direction at the same angle. You go over your shaded area once, and now you're going to go in a second direction with your lines over your first lines to shade. Now for darker areas, you want more lines with less space between them to make it look darker, so there's less white of the paper showing through. And for lighter shades, you're going to want larger spaces between the lines, as you see here, so that more of the white of the paper is showing through. And it looks lighter than the first area that we shaded. Stippling is a technique used with pens, and it's made out of many dots. For a darker shade, you want the dots to be closer together with less space between them, so less of the white of the paper is showing through. For a lighter shade in stippling, you want more space between the dots and have more of the paper showing through. And you can see that the area with more space between the dots looks a lot lighter than the area with less space between the dots. For the blending technique, you want to cover the entire area very smoothly and evenly with your pencil. I recommend going very slow with your pencil when you're filling the area so that the area is nice and smooth. For darker areas when blending, you want to put multiple layers of your pencil, so you go over the same area 3 or 4 times to get it a nice dark shade. Now you can take a Q-tip and do circular motions to blend the graphite together. And it makes it very smooth. So for lighter areas when blending, you want to color the area very, very lightly with your pencil. And then you take your Q-tip and do the same in circular motions, blend the graphite together. And now you can see that the lighter you touch your pencil to the paper, the lighter the shade is. For this last technique, circular, it's kind of like drawing curls, lots and lots of curls. For a dark area, you want the curls to be nice and close together, so less of the white of the paper is showing through. And for lighter areas, you want your curls to be big and spaced out. And you can see here that it looks lighter than the first area that we shaded in. Now on the bottom here, I have a sphere, which I'm going to use the blending technique on. So I am first doing very light coloring of the pencil onto the sphere. And for darker areas of the sphere where there's going to be shadow, I will go over multiple times. For a very dark shadow, you want to color it about 3 or 4 times with your pencil. Very lightly, don't press hard on the paper. And then we're going to take our Q-tip and we're going to start in the light area. And we're going to blend all of the light color in. So it's all nice and smooth and blended together. And then we're going to move into the next darker shade. And we're going to blend that together. And then last, we're going to do the darkest shade. Now, once you've blended it and you want a shade to be a little bit darker, you can go over the area with your pencil once more and then blend it out again. Now for the shadow that is being cast by the sphere, I'm going to go over the area with a darker shade. And then I'm going to blend it with the Q-tip. For the cube, I'm going to use the cross-hatching technique. So for this first area, I'm going to do a medium shade because our light source is coming from above. So our side, this first area, is going to be in a medium shadow. For the top area, it's going to be very light. So you see that I'm using cross-hatching where the spaces between the lines are larger. For the third area, the lines are going to be much closer together because this area is in shadow. Now for the shadow that is being cast by the cube, it's going to be a lot darker. So I have the lines much closer together and it appears darker. You can see the difference between the 4 areas where the darkness of the shade is different. And there you have it. That is some different shading techniques.